Welcome back to another episode of The Loyalists. We're 16 deep, Sam. That's pretty crazy.
It's surprising. Would have bet money we would be done after 10. It's nice to get to 16. Can't wait for another suboptimal 16. So it's been fun.
I wonder what the stat is on how many episodes most mid-20s white guys get through before quitting.
Yeah. It's a good
I'd give
question.
it over under 11 and a half, and I'm proud that we hit my theoretical over.
11 and a half probably isn't bad. How many episodes did the other Loyalist podcasts make?
I believe there's 11. It's kind of really where I'm basing all my data from.
Hashtag
So there's
analysis.
another Loyalist podcast that was made in peak COVID. And maybe you guys have came across this when you've tried to look for our podcast, maybe. But I believe it's about like post-apocalyptic, like what the world looks like in like 2073 and what people are doing and like how they're sustaining life, which I don't know, maybe just watch any movie that's about that. But like I'm lashing out because like this is our podcast name, even though he got to it first. And he's only got 11 episodes, so I might start contacting people to get it taken down.
I think one of our goals should definitely be during an international break, do a review of the other Loyalist podcasts. I think that should definitely be on our radar.
I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. Um, yeah, we should listen. I want to listen because I'm curious why it's called the Loyalists. Like we're called the Loyalists because we're loyal to the greatest league in sports, and we're Americans. But I have no idea what this guy could be loyal to in 2073 post-apocalypse.
Yeah, it's tough to draw parallels without knowing anything about the program, but um, we're here. Beat that Loyalist, so good for us.
Good for us. The Phils are out. That's another thing that happened. We should update the
Yeah,
people. Philadelphia yet again blew a lead 2
yeah,
That was cool. Came back to Philly up 3-2. Surely in the most energetic atmosphere in Major League Baseball, they would get it done to get to the World Series for the second year in a row, but they couldn't. Um, and I kind of kept coming back to what Sam said a couple pods ago when he was describing how he would consider Arsenal if they weren't to beat City without Rodri. And he was like, I just think they're fake if they can't do that. And I think that's what I think of the Phillies. I just think they're fake. Sucks because I really liked a lot of aspects of this team. I went to game one of this series where they won 5-3, and it was amazing. Core memory, Schwarber and Harper hitting 2 home runs in the first inning. But now that core memory is soiled. So, whatever.
I went to the 10-0 game, so I think I'm back up. I'm not a big baseball guy, so didn't really affect me the way it was for others. I kept just sending around Mikel Arteta gifs to everyone, just saying join the bandwagon for everyone that was complaining to me about baseball. So, in my eyes, I had a good time. I feel bad for everyone else.
You know
Buying
what's
tickets
crazy?
and then
Go
them
for it.
losing a game 7, like, that's got to cut very, very deep.
That definitely cuts deep. It is crazy. They never won in Philly without the loyalists in attendance.
Take that for data.
I'm not saying we're everything, but that seems like something.
But we're not
Um,
nothing.
we're definitely not nothing. But good news. I'm wearing my Eagles hoodie. The birds are flying high. Just beat the Finns 6-1. I believe they're third right now in odds to win the Super Bowl, which is kind of offensive because the Chiefs have one person to throw to, and the Niners are starting Sam Darnold this week, but it's fine. Nobody likes us and we don't care.
Yeah. Um, I I'm worried about Taylor Swift at this point. Just feel like
There could be an agenda there.
you're gonna get some calls. If there's any fan base I'm more afraid of than like an NFL franchise, it's Taylor Swift fans. The Chiefs get a holding call that stalls them on a drive. Would not surprise me the Swifties absolutely finding a ref his house and ruining his entire life. So definitely afraid of that.
There were
And
some
that's
high quality. There were some high quality memes this week because last week Taylor was at a game and Travis went down in the end zone. He got tackled, and she just started freaking out. And it was like, man, just imagine if she was a fan of Paul George or if she was dating Paul George or something like that. Those were all really funny. There
yeah,
were some good ones for soccer too.
yeah, a lot of Reese James ones. Those are mean. Are they funny objectively? Yes. Are they mean? Yes. But shouldn't joke about guys getting injured, but it was kind of funny.
It just seems the amount of content they're churning out of this new relationship. It worries me that it'll bring the Chiefs to the Super Bowl just because the NFL wants the Swifties to watch.
I need like I don't know anything about Brittany Mahomes, but people seem to like actively dislike her. I just need Brittany to get jealous of Taylor in some capacity, and then I think
They
their
seem like
entire
they're really hitting it off so far.
I know. And it does seem like that. It's something to monitor. Saw Jackson Mahomes was there, smiling with them. Swifties, get your house in order. You want her associating with freaking Jackson Mahomes? That guy's a sleazeball.
He's a felon, I think.
He's, he should be.
um, no, but there's good things going on in Philly. Besides the Birds, the Sixers start up tonight, and I just want to publicly announce that I'm disavowing this season. Um, I've told a lot of my group chats I don't want to see texts. Yo, Jake, did you see this about the Sixers? Because I'm taking a break. Um, I've never been one to support jumping ship on a team, but they've hurt me a lot. Uh, and I'm testing the waters, free agency.
Jake, I have something to confess to.
What's that?
My friends told me to download this game called Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know if you know anything about it.
I've heard of it. I never played it.
But I think I've hit my gaming. I think I lost my fastball on gaming because I tried to play the demo and just like learn how to play, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, and I when I say I couldn't figure it out, it was like when you give your dad the controller in Call of Duty and he's never played a shooter before. You can lean certain ways. I was in a blender.
Nothing's wrong with you, dude. You're just 27.
Yeah, I'm just washed, and,
Yeah.
and it has to be said.
No, it definitely does.
It sucks.
Um, no, I mean, it's all right. I've kind of just I know my limits. I choose my shots really carefully these days with gaming. I don't really jump into anything I know I can't handle. It's basically COD, Fortnite, maybe a little bit of FIFA. Sometimes I'll start a new RPG like Jedi Fallen Order or Elden Ring, but for the most part, I'm sticking to stuff I know, and I think you went a little bit too far into the deep end with that one, buddy.
Yeah, I did. But I
Also,
bought.
I
Go
go
ahead.
for it, go for it. No, you're good.
I bought Nintendo Switch Sports. Unbelievable game. It's just
I played
Wii.
that.
It's just Wii Sports, but a little more jacked up. Unbelievable game. What a great time. Can't recommend it more. Also, I'm just the greatest Mario Party player that ever was. So, um, that's fine. I don't need any of these other dumb games. Like, play a real game.
There's a reason I've never played you in Mario Party. I just refuse to. I've beaten you in Smash, and Mario Kart. And I'm proud to say that, but I would never even try to play you in Mario Party. Um, I have to ask for the listeners: did you purposely move on from the Sixers right away because you're just done with them as well?
Yeah, disavow. I'm convinced we're tanking this year. Um, if they wanted to actually like help Joel's career, they would just say he's hurt already. And I know the NBA doesn't. The NBA just put out something. They're investigating James Harden not being at the game tonight. There's not much to investigate. He clearly doesn't want to play for the team and wants to get traded. So
No, dude, it's actually deeper than that. We don't have to go all the way into it, but he showed up, like multiple reports that he showed up and we turned him away.
with
Like
his
that, like
bags packed.
with his bags packed. So that's awesome. Um, I love that we never have issues with our basketball team.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is the fact that I have a Ben Simmons jersey and a James Harden jersey
Oh,
and a Kai Havertz jersey, and I just
yeah.
keep making really really shitty investments.
Yeah.
Um, but we move on. You know, you live and you learn. I think Kai Havertz can still have a moment. I think he's been better than most fans think. Definitely, I think he's been better than Sam thinks. Sam is totally out on the guy. I, maybe it's just because I have his jersey, but I think he's shown promise in certain areas. We just got to figure it out a little bit better. The guy's 24, and he's 6'4". He's a massive human being. So I see potential there. I'm not ready to throw that one away. But James Harden is dead to me, and so is Ben Simmons.
Speaking of investments, I'm ready to finally go positive.
Listen, if it ever was our week, we have been like, if we're gonna go glass half full on this, we haven't been negative in nearly a month. So we are creeping towards it, and we aren't doing bad. We just aren't doing good either. So I think if we were ever to go up, it's now. And I think we're going to really test fate and do exactly that and not allow us a chance to go even again.
Yeah, they don't want us to go even. The haters and losers. This is exact. We got them exactly where we want them, Jake. So I'm hyped going into this week.
I'm hyped going into this week for that purpose. I'm not hyped going into this week for the slate because it is a bunch of dog shit and then the Manchester Derby. Um, but we can jump right into it if you want. Let me just read it for the listeners, just so you know what to expect. Um, we need to get a producer to start doing timestamps for us because I'm definitely not your guy for that. But we got Crystal Palace versus Tottenham at Palace. Chelsea hosting Brentford. Palace Tottenham is tomorrow at 3, by the way, Friday night game. Chelsea hosting Brentford. Arsenal hosting Sheffield. Bournemouth hosting Burnley. Wolves hosting Newcastle. West Ham hosting Everton. Brighton hosting Fulham. Luton going to Aston Villa. Forest at Anfield for Liverpool. And City United at Old Trafford Sunday at 11:30 to end the weekend. Now, just point to one thing that you're excited for, besides your own team.
Hmm. Honestly, I was excited about exactly 0 games until I started looking at some odds. And there are some interesting lines that we're going to talk about as we go through this slate. But looking at this game these games face value, just absolute trash.
It's really going to test like Sam and I's grind for this podcast because we are going to subject ourselves to watch. Normally, we try to do like at least 5 to 6 of these games, and we're going to try our best. Let's just leave it at that. We're people too, okay? We're people too with real lives. So we're gonna try our best, but this is a tough slate. This is a
Yeah.
really tough slate.
At least Jake will have to watch Manchester United. I will take away that from this weekend. At least he'll be required to watch it. So no way for him to wiggle out of that. So that'll be cool.
That's true. That's true. United City is going to be really interesting. But I don't want to start there. We'll leave that for the end because it really is the only interesting game. Um, but there are interesting odds, like Sam mentioned before. So let's start there with tomorrow's game at 3 o'clock Eastern. Palace are hosting Tottenham. Now, Palace, we've been pretty critical of up to this point. We definitely think they've been fortunate. They got dogged by Newcastle, but there's always been a sense of like at Palace is a tough game. Like I feel like I've heard managers and players say that for years and years. Um, and the line like really reflects that. Tottenham are obviously in first place by themselves. They're 7-2-0, which is just astounding. They're playing out of their minds, yet they're minus 125 for this game. I don't know if that spells draw or what. I don't like what do you take out of that?
I don't know. I guess Palace and Spurs are going to draw. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Spurs should be minus 220 in this game. I'd feel way better for them if they were minus 220 instead of minus 125. I just feel like they're begging you to take Spurs. And I guess it's one of those atmospheres, and we talked about Friday night games, and it's a London derby. So I guess they're just banking. I guess Vegas expects chaos. So it's good for the neutral because it's going to be a fun game to watch. Good way to start our weekend. But um, don't really have a read on this game. I'm very confused. I would say Spurs would dominate this game, but I guess not.
Yeah, is there like is anybody hurt? Maybe probably should have checked this beforehand. Um, I can pull it up on the Athletic now if you've got anything else.
Um, I think that Spurs injury report, San Antonio Spurs come up. You hate to see that kind of thing. Um, I would say I don't know. I would Spurs are just significantly better than Palace, and Palace are just not an informed team. So I'm not sure what kind of issue they would have in this game, unless, like you said, Madison is hurt or his son is hurt. Um, Everyone else, I
So,
think, is replaceable.
um, Pape Sarr has recovered from an illness. Ben Davies coming back from a knock.
Who cares?
Basuma's back from suspension. And then it's just Perisic, Solomon, Bentancur, Sassignon, and Alfie Whiteman, whoever the fuck that is, remain long-term absentees. So none of them have been playing. So yeah, I guess this is just a rat line from Vegas, and they probably think this is a draw or even crazier, a Palace win because Tottenham haven't lost yet this season. So listen, as an Arsenal fan, I'm fully okay with that. But I just think this is a stay away in terms of gambling aspect.
For sure. Completely agree. I'll have a good time watching it, but definitely don't want to have money on either side. It just feels very uncomfortable in this game. Um, but best way to start your weekend is a nice cheeky Friday night game. So
We love those. But then you start off Saturday and you have a couple teams that this pod publicly hates, Chelsea and Brentford.
yeah,
Now, we have established that, well, I have established that I think Chelsea are on the up and up. I don't know that I'm like taking them to be top six or anything like that. Let's hold our horses, but I definitely saw a lot more promise out of them than Sam did in the game last weekend against Arsenal. Um, and then Brentford are kind of just chaotic. And like I said, I look at them like, no, I said Nottingham Forest. I look at them like the Chargers, but I kind of feel the same way about Brentford. Like you never know with them. Chelsea are home and they're minus 160 in this game, um, which I think is probably the right number. Doesn't seem like anything fishy is going on there. Um, and I mean, they should win. It's at 7:30. It's the early game. They're by themselves, so I expect Chelsea to get a W here. How about you?
yeah, I do expect Chelsea to take care of business. This Brentford side is pretty poor. Um, Chelsea will definitely want to build off that result against Arsenal. And if they start the way they did in the first half against Arsenal, I think that they can handle this game pretty comfortably.
I agree with you. Um, Sorry, I was just pulling something up because I realized Google has the head-to-head record of the last five matches. So I just thought maybe revisiting Tottenham Palace, like maybe there was something there. Um, but
If you
I'm
guys are just listening, Jake is just has just been furiously pressing on his iPad that's next to him, just trying to find some kind of logic how Spurs are only minus 125 against this bad Crystal Palace side. He's trying to just create something that isn't there, and I
I
love that
really
for
have been I've really been working hard. No, the last the last 5 matches, it's 4 wins to Tottenham and 1 win to Palace, and that's like the old Tottenham that were bad. So we just got to say this is Vegas cheese and move on. Um, but interestingly enough, in the Chelsea Brentford, they're 2-1-2 in their last 5 matches. So it's been even, and as of right now, Chelsea are 10th and uh, Brentford are 14th. So it's a mid-table clash, but I don't know. All that kind of just makes me like Chelsea more with those odds.
yeah. I like we. I think we both like Chelsea in this game. Um, Definitely worth a look at minus 160. It's a lot to lay. Probably have to couple it with something else, but I definitely do see them taking care of business in this game. That organized press, if they can start to sustain that for longer periods of games, they're going to be very challenging for mid-table and lower level sides.
All right, so then we got our 10 o'clock slate, which is just more shit. Um, Even my own team plays at 10 o'clock, but it's a terrible game. They're playing Sheffield, who to this point have been the worst team in the league. They're 0-1-8, and they have a goal differential of 17, um,
Uh,
negative 17. They've conceded 24 goals to this point and scored 7. Um,
sheesh.
and yeah, they're just really bad. Arsenal are minus 950 in this game. They're at the Emirates. And if they drop points at all, they might be dead to me for a couple weeks because this team sucks. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this head to head, and now I'm just in a pissy mood because I remembered that Arsenal lost to Sheffield 1-0 on October 21st, 2019. So that's pretty sick. Uh, Old days coming back to haunt me a little bit, but that's not us anymore. We're good. Yeah, this is the biggest favorite by far this weekend. Like Aston Villa is playing Luton at Villa Park, and they're minus 400, like less than half these odds. So this is like a lock. Like Arsenal will win this game.
Yeah, I don't think much analysis needs to be given. Uh, just this is just the worst game that Sheffield could have on the schedule at the Emirates. I think it'll be. I don't know. It feels like it could be a 4-0, 4-1, something like that. Um, I think it's going to be a lot of one way traffic, maybe 75% position for Arsenal, and just really cruise to an easy victory.
Let's hope so. I mean, Arsenal tend to make it interesting for us, but I really hope so. I believe Sam and I will be at Misconduct for this one, um, trying to promote the podcast a little bit more. So hopefully we can see a W among a lot of other fans. That would be nice.
Agree.
Joyous.
Would be very nice.
Google Analytics have Arsenal 89% chance to be victorious, so that's sick.
Shout
Um,
out Vince Vaughn.
yep, the internship. Okay, Bournemouth Burnley. God bless people tuning in for this one. Like,
Throwing up in my
Jesus.
mouth.
Right. This is a rough game. So this is a true relegation 6-pointer with Burnley at 18th, Bournemouth at 19th, and the winner destined to go clear of the relegation zone with Luton playing Villa. So it's a really important game for both these sides. Yet I feel like it'll probably look disgusting. Um, yeah, I don't see Luton getting any points out of Villa. So this is like you're free of the relegation zone and really, really important for them, for either side to win this. It's at Bournemouth, but the Bournemouth have yet to get a victory yet this season. Did I say the Bournemouth? The Cherries have yet to get a victory yet this season. And I don't know. I don't know what this is an under for me.
Under looks good. I actually like Bournemouth in this game. I thought they played well against Wolves and were very unlucky to go down to 10 men. Yeah, so I do like Bournemouth. I think Burnley are an absolute disaster. and this will be a game that they're obviously up for because it's a relegation 6-pointer. Also, consecutive home games. I like that trend as well. So I definitely wouldn't. I hate to do it, but I would definitely nominate Bournemouth plus 115 as one of our picks.
You have a problem. Gun to your head, who's
Agree.
the worst of these four teams?
Luton.
That's mean.
I
That's my
won't.
team.
I won't stop. I won't. Luton are terrible.
Sam texts me once a weekend saying Lewin are so bad, dude, because he's usually the one watching their games because Sam grinds a lot more than me on these weekends. But he'll just text me Luton are so bad, dude. And nothing but agreement. But I still love that my preseason pick was blindly Luton to stay up, and they are staying up right now. It brings me a lot of joy because it's just kind of funny because they probably are the worst. But I don't know, I might say Burnley.
It's close. I mean, Burnley. The reason why I hate Luton is like at least Burnley are fun, even though they get smacked. You know what I mean?
What about Sheffield, dude? We're not even giving them any credit in this potential worst team in the league.
Sheffield got to be up there. Fuck. There are a lot of bad teams.
I think we should, while we're doing this, we should give a quick rundown of the what's going on in the championship because I firmly believe Leicester and Leeds could be any of these teams. To like if it was a season
Yeah.
of 22 teams, I think Leicester and Leeds would finish above both of them. Um, Leicester are 12-0-1 in the championship. So they're coming back up. Vardy only has 4 goals this season. I did some research, guys, today. So yeah, you should be impressed. I did some research,
I'm
but
impressed.
um, Nacho has a lot of goals for Leicester, and who's the guy that has two last names? He's been scoring. He was doing well at the end of last season. Um, he's like the league leader. Uh, hold on, stand by. Um, Leeds are in third, and Ipswich Town is in second. That's your championship update.
See, I think I like Bournemouth long term. I don't know what the odds are for them to stay up, but they're going to get Tyler Adams back at some point too, and I think that's going to like help them tremendously. Uh,
Not until February, dude.
I know, but we're going to get there. They're going to win right here. It's going to be a relegation 6-pointer. Then they're out of the drop zone. They're going to get Tyler Adams back while being out of the drop zone.
Kieran Dewsbury Hall. That's who I was thinking of. Do you remember him?
Drewsbury Hall.
Yeah. But that's your update for the championship, and that's who Bournemouth and Burnley are going to be playing next season. But Southampton are in fifth, so that's sad. They're 6-3-4. That really sucks. It's always interesting for me to check up on this because it's like these teams were all in the Prem at some point. You got Watford in 15th. It's
Oh
like oof.
God, Watford's in
Cold
15th.
Cold Night and Stoke 5-1-7 and 17th. Um, Swansea 19th. QPR 23rd.
Holy hell!
Yeah, really crazy. QPR is probably going to League One. Them in Sheffield Wednesday, who I always had a soft spot for because I love the name. Um, QPR I always really liked when I was younger because I was a big Adel Tarap fan in FIFA. Um, so just hate to see that, but that's your uh, that's your bi-monthly championship update. On
Yeah,
to the next game. Um, but yeah, I guess we might like Bournemouth in that spot. I don't know. That's sick to
I
me,
like
but
them.
we'll see.
We'll talk
Okay.
about it.
Um, Wolves Newcastle. This one feels exactly the same way as Tottenham to me. Uh, though Wolves are kind of looking streaky right now. I feel like their last win was a little fraudulent against a shitty Bournemouth side. Um, and they have pretty much the same odds as Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Newcastle in the -125 away spot this time, and Wolves +340, I think. I feel like it's another stay away. I don't know, might end up being a draw, but I'm not touching it.
Yeah. So Tenali has been suspended from all football for 10 months. That's something we should say. That's been formally announced. So he will miss the rest of the season and the Euros, which is sick. Um, but because of that, Newcastle kind of humbled in the Champions League a little bit this past week.
They
Um,
lost to Dortmund. They lost to Dortmund, right?
they did. They lost to Dortmund.
Oh, this is why the odds are like this.
Right.
Sorry, we're gonna say this.
Well, yeah.
Isak's hurt.
Oh, I didn't know he was hurt.
Isak's hurt, and he's probably out for this game and the game against Arsenal.
Interesting. I still like Newcastle Wolves over 2.5. Even without Isak. I know Isak's been great, but I like them over 2.5. That's minus 141. I'm going to pair that with something else later, I think, and it's going to be one of my nominations. I just don't like necessarily betting on Newcastle. I know they've been good in the Prem again. Uh, no Tenali. I just think it could be trouble. And I like the idea of Wolves like grabbing one on the road and then they're just kind of being chaos. It's not the Wolves of old. They don't really defend very well. They'll let in a few goals as well. So I like over 2.5.
Oh, okay. I don't hate it. I'm gonna let you cook. We'll discuss at the end. I want to sidebar. I want to sidebar and say something,
Go
and
ahead.
and you probably still disagree, but this Champions League, this past game, and like some of our other guys underperforming lately. Just bringing this back to Arsenal for a second. I think Declan Rice is worth 105 million pounds.
I I fundamentally disagree with you, but okay.
Just wanted to say that. I've fully drank the Kool Aid. I love him so much. He does so many good things, and I think he's as good as Rodri or better. Um, Sam totally disagrees, and that's fine. But if Declan Rice was French, he would agree with me. So it's fine. Is what it
Not
is.
not directionally correct. Directionally correct.
Whatever. That was my sidebar. Listeners, give me a text or a shout out. I don't think he's worth 105 million pounds in like or 105 million euros, whatever it was, in like 2014. But I do think he's worth that right now. And if you agree with me, give me some sort of um, recognition. Either text me or tweet me because I don't want to be alone in this. Because I think I'm right. Um, Moving on because Sam's pissed at me for that take. West Ham Everton. So this one's weird. West Ham are kind of like I wanted to talk to you about this. West Ham are kind of like in pretty bad form out of nowhere. They lost to Olympiacos today. I think it was in Greece, but still uh, tough. And then last week they get dogged by Villa. I know it's we established Villa Park's a fortress, and we like Villa more than we have all season, but that's pretty wild. And then today, um, I was looking at odds, futures for to make top four, and Brighton and Villa have the same odds at plus 340 at an off chance to make top four, and then West Ham have plus 6,800, and I just did not think they were that different.
Yeah. Um I mean, they just anytime it feels like West Ham have an opportunity to make up ground on anyone or play a big team, it feels like they fall pretty flat. Um, man, 6,800 is a big ass number though. I
Feels crazy. I don't think they're like whatever that is, like 20 times, literally 20 times worse than Villa and Brighton. I don't. That doesn't feel right to me, but Vegas know better than me.
no, that feels very aggressive. What's they're in ninth right now. How many points? 14 and top 4 is 20, so it's making up a 6 point gap. I guess my guess is they just Vegas has no confidence in West Ham being able to get results against the big sides. Because you can't make up ground unless you get results against them, unfortunately. So uh, I am worried about West Ham in this game. This line doesn't make sense either, Everton have been playing better ball than people think, and maybe they sneak a result here.
It's at West Ham. But yeah, Everton are what, plus 250, West Ham plus 110.
Yeah, Everton plus 240, West Ham plus 110.
Sounds like a rat to me, just scampering across the floor.
Sure does seem like a rat. It seems way too good to be true, and I'm not going to do it because, especially, you're coming back from. It was in Olympiacos, right? That game?
I believe it was in Greece. Yep.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks for me, dog. I'm staying off.
All right, so moving on to Brighton hosting Fulham. Uh, you have any overwhelming thoughts on this game before I jump in?
Um, Fulham stink. I don't feel like watching this team. And I'm tired of me being like, oh, they could be good because they're not. Oh, sidebar also, Everton could be in trouble with financial fair play. Um, there have been
Wild report.
there have been reports that Everton could have a 12-point deduction, which would be fucking sick. Um, how on earth Everton have sold their best players and loaned out a bunch of players and are playing Ashley Young at right back and could somehow not be in financial fair play compliance is absolutely insane. Um, shout out to Man City's lawyers because my guys are out here grinding.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it one bit. I feel like Everton have spent like 30 million pounds in the last 5 years, and like Chelsea have spent 700, but Everton are in potential of getting 12 points deducted. What would that leave them at, -5? How does that even work?
I don't know how it works. I don't know if you can go negative. I imagine if you can't go negative, they'd want the deduction immediately, so they just go to zero.
I guess so. Feels like I'm playing. It feels like I'm playing 21 or something. It's pretty crazy. And
It feels a little wacky.
Everton just got tapped by financial fair play.
Maybe they wait till you get to 12 and then take it away.
Surprise attack. Yeah, that would be wild. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It feels shitty. But Sam and I were talking about early in the season, like why the hell are Everton selling all their best players? So maybe that was breadcrumbs because Sam and I literally said on like first transfer window podcast, like they seem like they're trying to be bad because they just offloaded a Wobie. Um, didn't make sense to us at the time, but maybe this is all part of that. I don't know. That's my only potential explanation.
Yeah, very weird. So,
But we were on Brighton Fulham. Yeah, Fulham. I want to say I feel like it's like a managerial problem. Um,
ooh,
I don't know if they're definitely not big enough for him to be sacked. It's that guy. Is it Scott
Marco
Foster?
Silva.
Marco Silva. It's the Portuguese guy.
Yes.
Um, I don't know. I just feel like their team's better than this. They've been really poor most of this season. Um, it's just hard for me to believe they're this poor. I feel like he could be on the hot seat, but Brighton, not as big of favorites as you would expect, but Sam and I talked pre-pod. He didn't realize Solly March when I talked about it earlier this week. Um, he got stretchered off. Yeah, so he's done for the foreseeable future, and apparently Welbeck is too. He came off with a knock, but he just sat back on the bench, so I thought he was okay. Apparently he's done for the foreseeable future as well. Um, so that's two really big pieces. They just won midweek against Ajax, who stink this season, but they won 2-0 pretty convincingly. Ansu Fati, another goal. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is all Brighton, even despite missing two of their best players.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham haven't created or shown anything for us to justify saying they should be in this game. Just honestly worried about Solly March, but Brighton have shown over and over again when they lose players that they're fine replacing them. So I'm sure they'll take care of business. It's just I'm a little afraid to put my money behind that.
Something to monitor, though. The last 5 games, Fulham have 3 wins and 2 draws.
Really?
Yeah.
Who have they played though? They played
No.
some
Oh
bad
no.
teams.
No. I'm not saying in real life. I'm saying against Brighton.
Oh my God! I was like, that's not. There's no way.
No, Fulham don't even have 9 points this season.
Yeah, my
Well,
God,
they have 11 actually, but still, yeah. No, against Brighton though, which is almost as crazy. 3 wins and 2 draws the last 5.
that is very impressive.
So
Interesting.
maybe that's another reason for not as long of the odds as we thought. But yeah, I still feel like you have to take Brighton, especially with the promise they showed at the end of that City game.
Hmm.
Feel like it's all Brighton, especially at home. We're gonna see. This game is at another 10 o'clock game on Saturday. Oh no, this one's on Sunday. I didn't realize we were already on to Sunday.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they play on Sunday at 10. Yeah, Brighton minus 190 feels like the right call. All right.
Yeah,
Moving on. Villa Luton. Luton fade. Is it back?
it is fucking back. Villa minus 400. Give me it. Villa minus 1.5. Give me it. Luton stink. They are really bad. Um, I'm just not gonna let them get away with this.
It's at Villa Park, so we've established Emery has turned that into a fortress. Um, there's no way they don't get 3 points here. There's absolutely no way. I would be shocked. Um, uh, it's all Villa. It's all Villa. Maybe Ollie Watkins bags a goal, but those
Maybe
odds
Ollie
are correct.
Watkins bags a hat trick. This is going to be one-way traffic. Villa have been really impressive.
I definitely
Especially
don't think. I definitely don't think Andros Townsend drops a free kick uh, in between 30 players and scores. Definitely don't think that's happening.
I don't think that's a recipe to replicate. No.
All right, so we've got Liverpool hosting Forest in the next game, also at 10 a.m. Just another slaughter from what I feel like. I'm going to check the team news in a second, but this is at Anfield. Um, Forest have been bad, just dropped points in a horrific fashion to Luton, and I feel like there's no positivity they can take away from that result, leading them into like a massive game at Anfield. I don't know. This is all Liverpool for me, unless I'm missing an injury. The odds are similar to Villa, Luton, so it's Liverpool minus 410, I believe. I almost like the Aston Villa pick better.
Um, Liverpool kind of coming off a lackluster performance against Everton, but it was in a derby. But yeah, Forest have not been great overall. Um, their capitulation against Luton gives me like zero confidence that if they were to go up in this game, that the same kind of thing wouldn't happen to them against Liverpool. Um, I would say like if Forest happened to snatch a goal early, I would definitely bet Liverpool live, because I would definitely see them coming back in this game.
If they snatch a goal early, we will tweet out to like a official loyalist tweet that you should bet Liverpool live. Um, Yeah, their team news, Cody Gakpo's back, which is huge. I love Cody Gakpo. I feel like he doesn't get used the correct way in this Liverpool side, despite me liking Klopp as a manager. I feel like Gakpo doesn't always look comfortable in this team.
Mhm.
Um, but he's back. Curtis Jones suspended, which isn't a huge loss, in my opinion. And then Bashkatic and Thiago are unavailable, but they should be fine. I like Liverpool a lot in this game. Taiwo Awoniyi, that really good striker for Nottingham Forest, is a doubt. So is Nuno Tavares, Arsenal loanee. So I don't know, man. One thing I wanted to shout out last pod though, I think um, Elanga is really good. That guy that United sent to Forest. I've been really impressed with him this season. So him being on the right could give Trent Alexander-Arnold fits. We're pretty well documented that we don't rate him as a defender. Rate him plenty as a player, just not necessarily a defender. Um, it's weird. At the end of last season, they tried the inverted fullback thing with him, and it was wonderful. Like all the fans were like, "Klopp finally did it. This looks amazing." And then he hasn't really been doing that as much this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. Elanga has been pretty positive, kind of their only positive route. overall. But yeah, Trent has been much better. People forget that he had that weird stint where people were saying he's like one of the worst defenders in the Prem and all that stuff. He should be dropped from England, but he's come back and he's been fine. Um, so I just don't have any reason to support Forest in this situation. And I think Liverpool will probably take care of business.
Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 24 home league games against Forest.
Yeah, checks out. That one makes
Forest
sense.
haven't Forest haven't won at Anfield since February 1969.
Nice.
um, and from there we have the only marquee matchup this weekend, the Manchester Derby. Um, Big picture, Holland seems to have his form back. City looked themselves in that first half against Brighton. Obviously, Rodri's back, and they're minus 150 because it's at Old Trafford and it's a derby. But I feel like that's a minus 150 that you just have to snatch up while you can because they are so much better than this United team. Like, it's not even a little bit close. You can only
Yeah.
hope for chaos if you're United.
Yeah, I mean the only thing is like United have kind of had City's number historically. And by historically I mean like the past few years. That was kind of dramatic. But the the thing is how United want to play, like it's exactly what City want to do. You know, they want to have all the possession and deep and then they just want to play a long ball that lets them out. Do I think that'll work? Maybe, but probably not. I'd feel very confident about City in this game, and it's kind of the same thing that I just said. If City go down, like I will definitely be betting City if they go down in this game. Um, I just think that it's just way too much for them to handle. We're assuming Harry Maguire's starting at center back.
Assuming they're 3-0 in their last three games with him starting, which is cool. I don't know. That's a correlation I like, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Give me Holland to just absolutely dominate that matchup. I love that matchup just in every aspect. So yeah, love City.
Akanji's Akanji's out with the red. But there's not many chances you're going to get City at minus 150 against a team of this poor caliber in United. So I think despite any cheese you could expect from a derby, this is just a value you have to take as a gambler. Um, we definitely will. Um, Anything else? Any Sancho update for me?
No, he's been dabbling in Call of Duty. I guess he likes it. I don't know.
So I read a report today that he's banished from all senior areas,
It's
and
true.
when he goes to the dressing room, he has to be locked in one sector so as to not disturb the young players either, to complete his personal training. Doesn't sound great. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Very
He's destined to
2020.
he's destined to exit in January. Just a really rough situation just because Ten Hag's demanding his apology, which he probably should. I mean, Sancho seems like he's being a little brat about it, but not great when your other option is Anthony and he came back, but he still sucks.
Oh God, Anthony is so bad. Oh God, like that's the thing is that's really why you have to take City is like they're starting Anthony and Harry Maguire not sarcastically like and that just you just can't allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Casemiro was suspended for the 1-0 midweek victory against Copenhagen, but obviously that doesn't have anything to do with this game. Martinez is still out. Shaw is still out. Malacia is still out. Obviously, Sancho's still out. Wan-Bissaka's coming back soon, but he's still out. So I feel like this is just good value for City more than anything. You're just getting Old Trafford value, and the fact that United have been able to beat City in the past. But this is just such a good City team. Like this game is probably over in the first half, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't hate a look at the first half either.
will you pull that up?
Okay.
I'm gonna be. Let's start this off. We're gonna. So that's our match week. Match week 10. and we've got some tasty picks in the. We've been in the lab, um, and this is our week. We are at least going up a unit. Also, we didn't give ourselves enough credit last week. Since we finished even, we actually did go up a unit thanks to your midweek your international break France pick.
Oh, cheeky. We love to see that.
So in the last month, I think we are up 1 unit,
Oh,
1.25 unit or
Jake.
something like that.
All right.
What's up, buddy?
We have our pick.
Okay, what do you got?
First half, Man City plus 115.
To win the first half?
Yes, to win the first half.
Oh, oh my God. Is that worth 2 units?
Oh, man, it could be. I mean, City are good in the first half.
City looked back to their best team in the world form against Brighton first half.
Hmm.
I don't know. Is that a trap?
I don't know, but I'll take it. That one I'll fall into. Man City plus 115. We don't have to do it for 2 units, but I definitely think that should be one of our picks.
All right, let's do that for one. So you don't normally like doubling up, but my biggest thing, I was gonna propose 2 units, and I think if we end on three, if we end on an even number, if we end on 2 or 4 picks, then we'll put this for. No, that doesn't make sense. We're gonna make sure we don't end on. We're gonna make sure we don't end on an even number. So if we end on an odd number, right? So if we end on 3, then we'll put this one for 2 units. So this pick that I'm really a fan of, Arsenal minus 950, parlayed with Villa minus 410 home against Luton, or Villa minus 400. Liverpool minus 410 home against Forest. Parlayed all those three with City minus 150. That's plus 186 for 4 teams I just definitely think won't lose. Um, and we'll see. I definitely think that should be one of our picks, whether it's 2 units or not. I'll leave up to you, Sam. I just think that's such good value. I know it's 4 legs, so it's a little bit scary, but
It's
I don't see what loses.
plus 186.
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote that one down. The next one I want to propose is Bournemouth plus 115. Bournemouth have played a lot better than their results indicate. And I think they're like sizably better than Burnley. And they need this game.
All right, we could put it down. I mean, listen, we always say a lot of good things and then we pick the wrong things. So we'll put it down. It's fine.
Okay.
Um, all right, and then I have a nomination here.
Go ahead.
Brighton minus 190, parlayed with Bournemouth Burnley under 3.5, minus 270, and that's total plus 109.
Plus 109.
Yep.
I love that. I think the under 3.5s for these games are going to be, I think those are pretty solid. I like
I
that.
think we I think we've stumbled upon something there for
Yeah.
sure.
I definitely think that could be something going forward. My next pick, Newcastle Wolves over 2.5 parlayed with Villa minus 400. That is plus 113. And if you say no
Which
because we already have Villa, then I'm fine with that too.
which is the over?
It is over 2.5.
No, for
It's
what game?
minus. Newcastle Wolves.
It probably goes 3, right?
I feel good about 3 even without Isak. Wolves have been pretty good attacking, and Newcastle have been kind of getting some buckets.
All right, well, let me throw 2 things at you. Keep that one written down. I'll give you a maybe.
Yeah.
We've disavowed every goal scorer one so far, but maybe it would be fun to do one.
Ooh.
And I just think this is good value. Watkins is minus 115 to score against Luton.
Okay, I like that. We can do that. Um,
I mean, and we can throw a lot out this weekend. Who the fuck cares?
what's Watkins minus 115 and Villa money line?
Let me pull that up if you want to pull. Give me your next pick if you have one.
Yeah. My next pick is a sprinkle. Um, it's honestly a troll pick. City minus 2.5, Arsenal minus 2.5, plus 1068.
Listen, it's good value. If we even if we wanted, what if we just called it 0.25 units? What if we just put for because then if that hits and it's 0.25, then you're up 2.5 units. If we just did 0.25 units on that, then it's 2 point because it's 10-1 for two things that like easily could happen. City don't have to win by 3 or more. Arsenal have to win by 3 or more. I'm okay with that, like the sprinkle, but it has to be like a responsible sprinkle.
Yeah, it's not. It's obviously not for a unit.
Of course.
I mean, the thing is, I worry. I worry about City in a derby winning by 2.5. I just feel like that would be insane. Like
You
if
think it'd be
United
crazy
lose,
if they won? You think it'd be crazy if they won 3-0 or 4-1?
no, I don't. Like I feel like if United lose 3-0, like I feel like Ten Hag could actually be on the hot seat.
He's already kind of on the hot seat.
That's
I've
why
heard
I think it's crazy.
that's fair. Um, they also start Maguire, so that's also fair. Um,
It's a good point.
Villa moneyline Watkins anytime goal scored plus 102.
Let's do that. That sounds
Okay,
great.
okay, that's fine.
All right. Should we I don't know. You tell me what you want to do with the sprinkle. It's your call.
Let's pick our 4 to 6 and then decide.
Okay. I love I love your plus 186. Arsenal money line, Villa money line, Liverpool money line, City money line. Plus
All right,
186.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just do a unit because even if that hits, it's plus. You're almost up 2 units because it's
I
plus
agree.
186.
I agree. All right. So no need for the sprinkle. Um I love Watkins minus 115, Villa money line plus 102. I just feel like if you can bet Villa plus 102 against Luton, I feel like that is incredible.
Do it. Throw it in.
All right. So
Watkins to score Villa to win plus 102. It's a
yes,
good pick.
love that. Um, Brighton money line, Bournemouth, Burnley under 3.5. I feel like this is what we should do. Get rid of one of Bournemouth money line or the Brighton, Bournemouth, Burnley under parlay, and I'll let you pick.
Honestly, I loved my Brighton Bournemouth Burnley thing, but I'm less I'm less afraid of Bournemouth to get their first win only because like we started talking about we started talking about Bournemouth being in a relegation 6-pointer and it being like Bournemouth Burnley one of them has to win and they're definitely staying up for that week whatever. They're definitely going 17th if they win that game either team. So just from that I feel like there's a chance it gets blown wide open.
Okay.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So let's do Bournemouth money line then.
It's
Um,
terrifying. Us betting on a team that's hasn't won a game in 9 weeks, but yeah.
it sure is. And then the next one is City first half money line plus 115.
I think it's sharp.
Okay. I mean I love that. Give me that all day.
And
Uh
what are we at 4?
that's 4. So if we want to do the Newcastle over 2.5 and Villa minus 400, that's plus 113, and then it's a 5 piece.
I'm down with that. Or if you, I'll leave it up to you. I'm down with that. Or I really love the plus 186. We can make it for 2 units if we're ballsy,
Mm.
and then we're either up or down.
I think we do Newcastle over and Villa minus 400. I like that one.
That's fine.
All right, let's do that
Yep.
then.
Then we have 3 things tied to Villa. It's my only thing.
We do. We do.
But they're playing Luton at home, so
But Luton
fine.
fucking stink.
The Luton fades back. That's all. It's it's a major fluctuation, but the Luton fade is back. So we got a
Oh
five
my
piece,
god. Nice little 5-piece. I love
and
that.
we'll tweet it out so it's nice and organized for you people tailing or fading at home. Um, I f- I felt more confident last week, but I think we are making the most out of a shit slate, and we're making some of these bad games fun, and that's what we're here to do. So I believe.
Right now, I feel like when like Batman is trying to like climb out of the cave, but he can't because he has the rope attached, and we just disconnected the rope. That's how I feel.
That's apt. That's astute. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. Premier League's back for another wonderful match week. Can't wait. I'm excited. And up the Gunners, as usual.
Yeah, I just want it on record. If Luton win, uh, I'm retiring from the podcast.
Okay. All right, we'll line up replacements. So send in your resumes and what you're good at. Just if only send them if Luton win to the loyalistpod@gmail.com. Let's round them out though real quick, our picks, so we have them neat before we sign off. Correct me if I'm wrong. We got City first half money line plus 115. We've got City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa parlay plus 168 all money line. We have Newcastle, Wolves over 2.5 parlayed with Villa plus 113. We
Right.
have Watkins to score, Villa to win plus 102. And then what am I missing?
I hate to say it, Bournemouth plus 115.
Okay. I'm missing Bournemouth plus 115. All right. That's fine.
That may have been a
Um,
Freudian slip.
probably was. All right. Just over an hour. Not bad. Anything else, Sam?
No, that's it. Let's cook.
Let's cook. Let's finish fucking on top for once. Let's fucking go, dude.
I'm ready.
All right. We'll see you next time. Peace.